again, the weather service, those guys, Andy Kula, David was on here yesterday. Those guys are just working so hard trying to get out there and get the information and pass it on, and they still have a lot of work to do. There's still a lot of those paths that are crossing, and I've never seen in my life where you've had so many tornadoes, so many strong, violent tornadoes, all at the same time. Yeah. Usually have one or two. And we have a special guest also coming in about, say, a half hour or so. His name is Mike Wilhelm, and he is a distinguished professional storm chaser, and he has some unbelievable information for us and some video, and there's just a piece of it right there over Tuscaloosa. He's actually sitting right at 2059 in McFarland Boulevard, looking off to the north and west, and you can see the trucks there on 2059 driving by, which you do not want to do. You want to be, away from any type of vehicles, but he's going to explain that tornado, and that's his video, and we'll get into details of that. It's just unbelievable.
We appreciate
and
that.
Michael will be here in the next half hour. Matter of fact, I'm expecting him at the door any time now, and he's going to give us his perspective, and you don't want to miss that.
Okay. Right. Thank you, Ben.
Taking action, getting results. This is WHNT News 19, After the Storm.
Welcome back, everyone. We are coming up on 6 o'clock on your Thursday morning. I'm Michelle Stark. This is Steve Johnson. Certainly, we are anticipating a fantastic interview we have set up here with a storm chaser from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, who caught some just unbelievable video that made its way onto YouTube and now has close to 500,000 views. We're going to talk to him about his storm chasing experience in just moments, and I cannot wait to hear what he has to say.
And we were in the commercial break discussing our own universities and how we would feel if something happened to the school or the town around.
And just quickly, you're an Auburn grad and a Michigan
State grad. And I want to mention, an Auburn fan, you need to read, if you can, if you have access to a computer, go to ESPN.com and go to college football, and there is a story written about Auburn and Alabama fans and this time. And if you're a fan of either one, it will bring tears to your eyes. And there are questions right now about Alabama's football season. They're going to get all this straightened out. But they've got some concerns, and we'll be talking more about that.
Yeah. All right. Switching gears here, we have a fantastic interview joining us now live in the studio. His video has become somewhat of a YouTube sensation, close to 500,000 views already, and it's not hard to see why. Meteorologist Ben Smith is there in our interview center. Ben, take it away.
All right, this is Michael Wilhelm. He is a distinguished storm chaser, many years. This guy's a professional. And please, the video we're going to show you, you do not want to try this at home at all during any type of severe weather event. Michael, thank you so much for joining us, and walk us through, what were you guys thinking? Talk us about the setup and what exactly happened.
Okay, well, we knew it was going to be a bad day. All the weather forecasts had been pointing to that for about a week. And my partner John Brown and Rick Lipscomb and I decided to meet the night before in Coleman. And we ended up going over to Tupelo. Didn't get a lot of sleep the night before. We had that first wave of storms come through in the morning. Then we ended up down in Pickens County. And after that storm passed, we ran into some problem with power lines and trees down in the road. So we were trying to make a decision at that point. Do we need to go up to try to intercept this Tuscaloosa storm and do that in a safe way? John was a little bit more eager to try that. I was not sure if we had enough time to do that safely, but we decided to give it a shot, and it turned out that we had plenty of time. And like you said, it's not something that I would recommend anyone do without training from the National Weather Service. We've had National Weather Service spotter training numerous times. I've done it back to the 80s. Anyway, we ended up on McFarland Boulevard exit there at the Interstate 2059 interchange, and we knew we were in a good position relative to the storm.
All right, we have the video that Michael and his team shot there, and Michael, this is just unbelievable. Can you walk us through, again, you're right there at McFarland Boulevard in 2059, very popular interchange, US 82. Let's go ahead and talk about what you're seeing here.
Yeah, we saw the tornado coming over the horizon. It was kind of forming as it did, and we saw the wall cloud first and frequent cloud-to-ground lightning. And when we saw that, we were already pretty much aware there was a tornado warning and where it was going to be. Then it became massive as it approached Tuscaloosa. It just almost instantaneously became a very large tornado. And we knew the direction it was going, and just overwhelmed with a feeling of helplessness. We knew it was going to head right for the heart of Tuscaloosa. I was a student at the university for several years and lived there several years, and I was just helpless and heartbroken to what was about to happen.
You can see the debris. The debris is really unbelievable getting thrown up into the air there. And there's a part coming up here where the transformer looks like it blew, and all the lights just go out.
Yeah, at that point we were seeing the debris in the air, which frankly it wasn't a surprise, but the whole experience was kind of a shock, just to know what was occurring, about where it was occurring, and we did put out some information as far as a warning is concerned, report of what we were seeing to local media and the National Weather Service. And there was already reports. I think this was one that a lot of people saw and knew was coming.
Now, have you seen anything this close before? Have you ever, in all your years of storm chasing, have you seen anything this close?
I've not seen anything this close nor this large.
Are you having any second thoughts now about just retiring from doing this? I mean, seriously.
Well, I'm a huge weather fan, a weather geek. I really enjoy all kinds of weather. But I have had a few thoughts since then. It's been really tough to deal with the emotions that have come after seeing the tornado and then after seeing some of the damage in Concord the next day. It's really heart-wrenching.
Now, see that tractor trailer right there? That's what you want to do. You want to pull off on the side of the road. I remember during our tornado coverage here, we were telling folks on WDRM 102.1, if you're on I-65, to pull off on the side of the road. It sounds crazy to pull off on a 70-mile-per-hour interstate, but if that truck had timed it just right, that tornado crossed over 2059,
right,
and that tornado would have not only turned that truck over, it probably would have picked it up. So that trucker did the right thing, and there was a car behind that truck also that pulled off the side of the road. And that's when, look at the transformer, there it is right there.
Yeah, there were several people who pulled over, and you're right, they definitely did the right thing. Car is or vehicle is one of the worst places to be, obviously, in a tornado or a mobile home.
Well, I tell you, we appreciate your work, Michael. I mean, you guys are professionals. You know what you're doing, and you have to have the training, the storm spotter training. You want to be, like you said, on the southeast side. Anywhere else, you could find yourself in a heap of trouble in just a few seconds. And unfortunately, for those folks down in Tuscaloosa, I mean, it's just going to be a long cleanup, and we wish them well. And Steve and Michelle, I know you guys have some questions for Michael. Let's go ahead and fire those away.
Yeah, let me just put on my tech reporter hat here for a minute. I'm putting together right now a best of YouTube videos story that's going to air sometime today or tomorrow. And I've been digging for the most incredible YouTube videos from this entire storm. And Mike's is certainly one of the best I've seen. Mike, I just have to ask, your video that you guys have posted has, close to 500,000 views already. What kinds of reactions have you seen from people who've watched that video online, maybe who weren't in our area for these storms?
There's been a wide range of reaction. I actually was tempted to turn off the comments because people were saying bizarre things, getting into arguments about the fact that I was praying while I was watching the storm, which you just can't help but do because you feel helpless and you want, people to not be hurt. But there's been a lot of reaction to it, definitely.
Wow. It's interesting to see what people pick up on, when they're not right in the heart of it, but certainly it's incredible video.
Mike, I want to say I've watched these TV shows where they show all the storm chasers all excited and having and almost like it's a sporting event. Were you scared right here? You guys, this doesn't seem like one of those kind of storm chasing experiences. It scares me looking at it and knowing where you are.
I wasn't scared because I felt confident that we were in the safe position relative to the storm, but I understand what you're talking about. A lot of those storm chasers seem to be excited and gleeful, and that was the furthest thing from our minds. We were just in a state of awe, but a state of shock and concern for what was about to happen.
Mike, we just want to ask you again really quickly to kind of talk about the clarity of this video. Steve mentioned earlier, we're in an area, a region where you don't typically see tornadoes as clearly as we have seen with this storm system. We have a lot of videos surfacing where you can see the funnel clearly. How unusual is this relative to what you've seen in your storm chasing years?
That's a really good point. It's very unusual for Alabama to even see a tornado. The vast majority of the time they're rain wrapped, and that's just yet another reason storm chasing and storm spotting in Alabama can be kind of dangerous. if you don't know what you're doing, if you haven't had training. We've got trees and hills in the way also that make it very difficult. This is a very rare circumstance to see any kind of tornado in Alabama, especially one this large.
Wow. All right. Steve?
You know, just congratulations for getting that, but for staying unhurt.
Yeah.
And coming through that safely. Wow.
Yeah,
Incredible.
and also, if you guys want to take my weather graphic real quick, we have actually Michael's position in reference to the actual the damage path there. I put it right there. It's about a mile south of where the wording is there, so you can see how close Mike was to the actual path of the tornado, which, I mean, I don't think you guys really could have been in a better position. If you're any further west, you're in the path. If you're any further, obviously, east, then you're probably not going to see much. And that just goes with the training that Mike has talked about. You know, they offer this stuff, but, you know, Mike's been doing this for a very, very long time. And as I said, you could find yourself in a world of trouble in just a few seconds. And at the very beginning, that storm wasn't nearly as strong, but it just ballooned from probably an EF2 to an EF4 just in the matter of probably 3 or 4 minutes, huh, Mike?
That's what I would say, yeah. Just almost immediately it ballooned up.
Okay.
Wow.
I want to ask one more question. This could you're a mile away, and I know the microphones on little cameras don't necessarily, could you hear this storm?
We could hear the roar in the distance. We could.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mike. Ben, do you just want to wrap it up there?
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mike, again, we appreciate all your work. And again, you can find Mike's video on YouTube, your Bama Wex, right?
Bama WX.com on YouTube.
Okay, and you can see it, and of course Michelle will be showing that again. But thank you guys for all your work. Thanks for all your partners and everything, and I'm glad you're safe.
Thanks, Ben.
All right.
All right.
Back
We'll
to
be right
Just
back.
going through that and videoing something like that just
Yeah.
boggles the mind a little bit.
I don't think I'd have the strength to do that. I don't think I'd have the mental skill involved to get that pulled off.
Yeah,
But
because your first impulse has got to be, we got to
panic.
get out of here.
Panic and run. All right, we'll be right back after this break.